Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Southdown Garage. My name is Kurt, and today we're off to the dyno with my buddies Passat after we've done the timing, the stage 3 upgrade, all the seals in the engine. So much work. It's been a couple weeks by now. We've had some delays due to parts, other things, my speed of work, whatever. But the best way to test an unproven vehicle is to head to the dyno. Okay, so we have the subshaft out from the passenger side, which is going to be a lot easier than the driver's side. It is also the smaller of the two, so unfortunately the only seals you can buy for these things are from Volkswagen right now. And you also have to get these outside retainers because I was trying to take it out being a He-Man without thinking about it. You require a 6mm Allen to do that, a long one. I didn't have that socket, so what I did is I grabbed a regular 6mm that I had. I punched out the Allen that was in there and I cut an Allen I had in my toolbox, and now I have a long 6mm specifically for this that I will probably have to put a tag on here and remind me, don't throw it out, it's for Volkswagens. So just for you guys, if you don't have this tool, just go to your toolbox, grab a 6mm Allen and cut the end off, and now you've got a long 6mm. That's it. As I get closer to having this car completed, one of the things that we have to do is, before we put this CV axle back in, we want to make sure everything up top is buttoned up. The exhaust is tight, this lower bracket is tight, all that stuff is back in, so we can make sure that when we're putting this CV axle in, we're not having to pull that out for any reason whatsoever. So we do have, of course, we have the new seal, and the half shaft is back in. Everything is dry, that is good. Now we can make sure that the CV axle goes in, and then we can start tackling some of the big stuff, because basically everything on the bottom will be completed. I will put this tie rod back in, or the ball joint back in its spot. We'll bolt up everything over here, and then we can move on. But it's always a good idea to make sure you're checking your CV axle bolts. You don't want any loose. That would be a bad day. So just take a minute before you lower the vehicle, or before you go back up to work on the top, that you go through everything, and maybe even take a paint marker and just hit every single spot to make sure you know you've double checked it. The last thing you want to do is have some sort of a failure out on the road, or if this isn't your vehicle, you wouldn't want someone else to have that failure. So I'm gonna go ahead, put everything back in, and then we can move on to the top side, and we can put the intercooler back in, start putting the front end back on, start hooking up the rad hoses, and then I just have to go through all of my clips on my bench and see what I need to connect here to make this all work again. First attempt. Hopefully I have the key in here. Why would I put it anywhere else? Well, last chance for anything. Wonderful fire. Do I have the key in here? we have the old bar map sensor. We're switching up for the 4-bar map sensor. When I was running that before, it was like super angry because we had not only the old one, but nothing was plugged in. So instead of running this poor thing without its map sensor, we're just gonna see if it runs better when this is plugged in. Shall we try again? We're getting ready to lower this down so I don't have to climb up to get in there. And we're going to start programming. So we're going to throw on the programmer, we're going to tune the engine, then tune the transmission. And once that's done, we're going to be golden, baby. Before you do any of this stuff, you want to first pull the file off before you start any of this other stuff. Then download it on your computer and upload it to Tunezilla. This is a bit of a process because it's a stage 3 tune. You can't just buy the tune. I know you can see it, but when you go to purchase a tune, it's gonna ask you to upload your file. When you go to upload your file, it's gonna stop you because it won't let you. Why is that? Stage 3 is specific to what turbo you're running. So in order for you to update the software, you have to know what turbo you have to tell Tunezilla so they give you the right file. That's what I found out. It's a little bit tricky, but once we figured that out, once we were able to get the wonderful people at Tunezilla to give us a hand, and I want to thank them for all their help. I really appreciate working with Tunezilla, and I can't wait to work with them with my Jetta. I'm so stoked to do a even bigger build than this one on mine and just have some fun, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's not happy. It's got some lights on right now, so what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna hit the tune function. So once that's done, we're gonna come back to the car and we're gonna bring the laptop so we can do the DSG tune with the Flashzilla light on this vehicle. And that was super simple. I just had to go to the computer. I had to open up the thread that I was working on with Tunezilla. I went down to where I purchased the tune. It said you have to link your serial number, did all that. Downloaded the program that it asked me to. The program automatically opens and it says plug into your car and start the download. Super simple, a lot easier than the system I used last time when I rented the tool. It's flashed, the TCU is done, the ECU is done, we're all ready to go. Now let's get to putting this thing back together so we can start it. And we're probably not going to put the bumper on because we want to drive it and make sure everything is okay, make sure there's no issues, and then we can come back to this vehicle. And this thing wasn't running right, so I got up at 3 in the morning or 4 in the morning today and I flew at it. I got it done, I got it all back together, hopefully sorted out everything, and was able to get parts for the Explorer, which will be another video. So let's get into this thing and let's drive to the dyno and let's hope for the best. We first have to make a stop off at Timmy's to grab some refreshments for Dan and Helen. It's not happy, I'll tell you that much. I gotta grab my scanner, I think, and find out what in the hay is going on. It should be more responsive than it is. So if it's in some sort of a limp mode, I need to know why. This is not ideal. So we went for a drive. Once we finally figured out the boost issue, we've got a new vacuum line on that I broke, sorry John, and I got everything working. We got the codes clear. We finally figured out what was the issue. We had a plug that wasn't connected. All good now. No more check engine lights. Everything is great. Back out of my driveway. First second, man, this thing is building boost, and pop! no boost. So we need to find out what caused that pop. And we need to find out if the turbo's okay. All right, fire it up.
Now, let's turn the propeller.